Okay, so Huawei took a lot of hits. The P30 Pro, we know they haven't sold a lot of units. It's just a whole mess, and hopefully that gets fixed. But I'm talking about a device here that truly got me shocked. I was surprised. Now, I'd seen unboxings for the Reno 10x Zoom. My buddy Super Saf has done that. But I finally got some time to play around with this device. And I've got to tell you, Oppo came out really strong. You've got that shark fin, which is of course so identifiable, everybody knows about that. And it doubles as the front-facing camera, which gives you of course a true bezel-less display, which we'll talk about in a second, and also has the flash for your rear camera as well, which is a bit interesting, I would say. That being said, it's a 6.6-inch device. The resolution is roughly 1080 by 2340. It's a nice display. Now, it's not the super sharpest, I would say, but it's still a nice display. And I love the fact, again, now we're getting more devices with no bezels. We've been getting that industry push. We had notches for a while. Oppo says no. No, not at all. And the pricing for this device is really good. Starts at £529, which is about $629. So think about it, for a device that comes with a Snapdragon 855, 6.6-inch bezel-less display, in-display fingerprint sensor, which is really nice and effective and fast. Each time you tap on it, boom, it unlocks. I like it. It's nice, effective, works really, really well. So you've got that there. You've also got a device that comes with either a 6GB RAM variant, 128 gigabytes of storage, or 8 and 256. So you get the idea there. And there are two different colors you can go with. Now, what I like about this device is that Oppo just didn't stop there. Especially think about the price point we started off, again, $629. You also have 3 cameras at the back, and we'll get to the camera images in a second. You've got a standard camera which comes in at 48 megapixels using that new half-inch sensor camera, Sony sensor in there. You've also got a 13 megapixel periscopic lens to give you of course 5x optical zoom and 10x hybrid zoom. We'll take a look at some of those images, and an 8 megapixel ultra wide lens. So they packed in as much as they could in this device. Plus, it's got a 65 milliamp battery and a 20-watt charging capacity with their supercharge. So everything you want in a modern smartphone is there. And I like the fact that it's also affordable. Now, with the Oppo Reno 10x Zoom, there's also performance. Again, the Snapdragon 855 processor. And what I liked about using this device and the processor is that when you're gaming, you're spending time. And by the way, guys, I am terrible at playing mobile Fortnite. So yes, just know that off the bat. But while you're playing those games, they run really well. And you've got just open real estate, screen real estate for it. Now, you guys will probably say, oh yes, we've seen that with the OnePlus, and yes, Oppo is the parent company of OnePlus, just to take note if you don't know that. So this is where some of that technology is coming from, and you see them executed here really, really well. Now let's go back to that shark fin front-facing camera, which is really nice. It pops up really fast, especially when you're using it for face unlock. It's very responsive. If you swipe up the screen to unlock your screen, it pops up, boom, and it unlocks. Now, I'm not sure how secure it is, but in terms of just convenience, it's convenient enough. Plus, again, that in-display fingerprint sensor is really nice. So you're thinking, okay, look, Thunder E, it's got all these features. It's got all this, specs, the camera, which we get to in a second, performance and gaming. And I got to go back to that. I really love the fact that we have devices with just, all screen, so I can game and enjoy in peace. I love that. I really like that because it just takes your gaming to a whole different level where you can see everything. Everything's just right there in front of you. I can't just tell you how excited I am to see more and more of these devices out there. And again, at a price point that is relatively effective for most consumers. Now you're wondering, what about OS? it's running Android 9, so the latest version of Android is currently in the market, but it also has its own skin called Color OS. Now, Color OS is, of course, it's Android, but it's got its own feel to it. Now, in terms of look and feel, I'm okay with it. Now, some people might not like it, but if you've ever seen Color OS in the past, this is a huge step forward. Being able to easily access, of course, your apps there. You've also got gestures, and the gestures are similar to what you have on the OnePlus gestures as well, so that's also pretty good to see. Now, in terms of just the look and feel, it can look a little foreign, especially when you're going down the notification tray, but that too gives you a couple of options. You've got your power save mode, you've got Oppo Share, being able to quickly share between Oppo devices. If you have a friend that has an Oppo device as well, you can also go into the settings and see some of the things you have. Now, because Oppo is trying to capitalize on what this device can do with the A55 processor, you also have a game center, and that optimizes for gaming. So once you actually turn on the game, boom, it optimizes those games to run at the highest frequency for your CPU, and also turns off, it puts calls on hold, different things, optimizes your Wi-Fi, so you can get the best out of your gaming performance on the device. And as I mentioned, gaming on this thing is really, really good. Now, let's talk about the camera. So starting with the front-facing camera, which is a 60 megapixel shooter, there's a lot of detail. There's an indoor shot. You can see me quite clearly. My skin tone is also normal. Make sure you turn, of course, the beautification mode off. But I like the fact that for a Chinese manufacturer, I am not looking, pale or washed out. Now, this is directly in sunlight. Again, you can see the different gradations of my skin tone. You can also see the sky at the back. Not as much dynamic range there, but I do like here my friend Nirav. You can see a lot of detail in his face, character, and around him. Now, this is a portrait shot with Michael Josh from Gadget Match, and the portrait shots are good. They're not great. It tends to whiten out sometimes. So you get shots like this where the background is very bright as opposed to us. We're still in focus, and there's a nice cutoff all around. Now, this is just a lovely daytime shot. I love the way the shadows hit, and I also love the dynamic range. I love the way the colors pop out. Now, it pops out a little bit more than natural, but I do like this look. Also here, we've got another flower. The yellow really pops out. You can see how the sun is being calmed down around. It was in direct sunlight taking the shot. So I do like this look. It's something, again, it's more of a preference, but it's something I do like. Now, in terms of just overall cityscape shots, we don't get a lot of dynamic range, especially in the clouds. There is some AI algorithm, but it kind of gives you this really flat tone look to it. It's something, again, if you do like that, then that's something you like. Now, moving over to the zoom lens. This is the lenses. This is the wide angle lens. It's not as wide as I would like, but again, it does give you a wider aperture, which is nice, and it's something that it does provide. It's solid, I would say. Your standard lens is 48 megapixel lens. Again, a lot of that flat tone look to it. So if you're looking for something like that you can go ahead and edit and change, this is what it will give you. Now, this is a 5x zoom. That's the water tower that we see across there. You can see the lettering pretty clearly. It looks really solid, really nice, clean image of the water tower. And then we go to 10x again. You get it closer, and you can see how good that looks. It looks really nice. A solid look of what we have here, and gives us a great clear representation. Now we move to 25x zoom. Again, this is nice. This is a combination. This is all digital, but looks really good. Now we could go to 50, but it looks good. Now this is a low light shot. I love this because this bar is fully lit by candles, and you can still see some of that yellow tint there, which I want to keep a really clear and sharp image. I love this shot here. Really showcases the bar, some lighting in the background, but again, you can see that drink highlighted really well. And just to show you some of the lighting and keeping the mood, which is something a lot of cameras tend to make it super bright like daylight, which does happen sometimes with this outdoor shot. But I think overall they've really hit the mark with some really clean photography here on the Reno 10x zoom. So like I said, the camera is just really, really good. I was quite impressed. I think it's much better than what you have with the OnePlus 7 Pro, and OnePlus has done a huge job in improving there. So, and this also really stunned me on the night mode, looking at that and going, wow, This is kind of like what Huawei does. You know, it differs from what the Pixel does. I like the fact that it still keeps a lot of the natural feel to the scene there. Now, there's a lot to like about this device. You know, the fast charging is really good. The supercharging, it tops up the device as quickly as possible. You've also got the, you know, you've got those cameras, you've got that display. You've got a device that just works pretty well. And again, starting at $629 and going to about $750, it's a well worth the device if you can pick it up. Now, I have some links for you guys down below to go check them out if you want to. So go ahead and do that if you're looking to pick up this device. But I'm happy to see this open up in different markets. And this is the kind of stuff that we want. We want competition. That's what a lot of people talk about. And we finally are getting this in droves. We saw the OnePlus, we've seen this device here, the Reno 10x Zoom, capitalizing on the fact that it can also do that, long lens zoom that we want to see in smartphones. Plus, gives us a really low light, a good low light camera. It has the performance all packed into one, and that's pretty good. Now, this device also comes with a case as well in the packaging, so that's also nice to see that Oppo provides that, because it's not a well-known property, especially here in the West. So that's a good thing, at least to keep in mind. Whether it's something you do in the other markets they deal with, I'm not too sure, but it's good to see. And it's good to see all that change with Oppo. Remember, Oppo had the Find X last year, the first device with the bezel-less display, but it was a slide-up mechanism, and it was also over $1,000. Think about it. Last year, Oppo had a device at $1,000 with a slide out, with a bezel-less display and a sliding camera. This year, they have a shark fin and a bezel-less display, and it's only starts at $629. That's what I like about this device. And I hope you guys are excited about this, because I'm really excited to see smartphones get that delineation down where pricing and affordability makes sense for most consumers. So guys, if you have any questions or any comments, or you want to leave a note with us, leave that down below. If you want any of the wallpapers, I'll have the links for you guys down below. Also, thank you very much for listening, watching, and subscribing to the channel. So smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the notification icon to get notified of our latest videos. And this is Thunder E saying thank you, and always enjoy your entertainment.